Hey there, and welcome back once again to the Statuesque Events YouTube channel. I'm excited to bring yet another video, and this one is both for brides and grooms, and it is for wedding professionals. So today we're going to be talking about the question, what is a luxury wedding? You might hear that term tossed around a lot, see it on a lot of people's websites, Instagram pages, just all over. But the question is, what is it? What makes a wedding luxurious and what makes it a luxury wedding? So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Now, before I get too far, I want to introduce myself. My name is Faye Shaw. I am the owner of Statuesque Events, as you can see, Statuesque Events on the wall. We are a wedding and event planning company based in the DC metro area, but we service weddings all over the country and all over the world. Like we've done weddings in Connecticut, Florida, Texas, the West Coast. We've got one coming up in the Midwest very soon. We've got a couple events in Europe next year. We love producing modern, multicultural weddings. And we're really excited about doing that with so many amazing clients. A lot of our clients are actually featured on this channel. So if you want to see more of real weddings, make sure you peruse our channel. And we have a lot of them just pinned at the top to make it easy. Now, in addition to that, I also coach wedding and event planners in my program called Planners Who Profit. I'm really excited about everything we're doing there, including our accelerator, our mastermind, and of course, our live event taking place every year in April. So we have all that information in the description box if you want to learn more about hiring us to plan your event anywhere in the country or anywhere in the world, or if you want to learn more about working with us as a coach. You can explore all those resources in the comments, so make sure you do that. Check the description, and we'll be in touch once you do that. Now today, once again, we're going to be talking about the question, what is a luxury wedding? What is it, right? Like, who determines what a luxury wedding is, and how do we get there? Now, the easy answer is that a luxury wedding is based off of the cost, right, of the wedding. So the average cost of a wedding in the United States as of the time of recording this video, which is in 2022, is about $34,000, right? That's what people on average are spending for weddings. And the average size of a wedding is about 120 guests, somewhere between 110 and 120 guests, right? It fluctuates, but somewhere around there, right? So a luxury wedding usually starts at around $96,000. So essentially, those who are in the luxury wedding market are paying about three times as much as what those are paying on average, right? So that's what that looks like. Now, of course, $96,000 for 110 guests is very different than 96,000 for 300 guests. So I would also argue that there's a little bit more of that per person cost that gets factored in there as well. And of course, also for those of you doing micro weddings, I mean, if you're doing a micro wedding with 30 guests, you only have 30 guests, but you're paying like $65,000 for that, that arguably is still a luxury wedding, right? Because you may not hit the $96,000 mark, but your wedding is a third of the size of a typical wedding, and you're still spending a sizable amount. So that is the easy answer as to what makes a luxury wedding, right? Technically, the wedding market is based off of pricing and caps, right? So average weddings are around that 34,000, like I said. The high end market is anywhere between that, like maybe 40,000 to like 96,000. Somewhere anywhere in there becomes like a more high end wedding or high end event. That's where a lot of people who are in our accelerator program, they're shooting for more of those events in the high end market versus average or budget, right? And then when you go a step up from that, you get into the luxury market. A lot of people in our mastermind are pushing for that luxury market, as well as corporate clients. And then ultra luxury is over 500K, right? So over 500K is when you get to the ultra luxury market. So this is an important term to know. A lot of times people toss around the word luxury, but it's important to know in general what the average cost of a wedding is, where you fall in the grand scheme of things, and to go from there. Now, again, if you're a wedding professional and you're watching this and you're like, man, I have never planned an event over, $90,000. So maybe I need to stop calling myself a luxury planner. That's fine. The truth is that you don't need to use the word luxury to get clients or to get high-end clients. There are other ways. We talk about all that in our accelerator program. Just tossing in the word luxury doesn't sell anyway. So that's a whole nother topic. But for today, I really wanted to just answer that question, what makes a luxury wedding? Now, in addition to how much you're spending, you might be saying, like, why would I be spending that much? Like, what do I get in exchange for that? I think that there are a few other things that make the hallmark of a luxury event or a luxury wedding, right? Now, number one, of course, is attention to detail, right? So when it comes to luxury weddings, luxury events, you don't find creases in linen, right? When you're taking pictures, you don't find crooked flatware, right? The table, the forks and the knives on the table, everything is in its correct place. Things aren't just kind of thrown out there. When you're looking at luxury weddings, there is just more attention to detail on those things. Luxury weddings to have different kinds of chairs, right? Luxury weddings typically aren't using ballroom chairs or chivalry chairs. You're using upgraded chairs, right? You're doing things that are very different and out of the ordinary, and that's where the money's going to create a more personalized experience for you and what you're looking for. It's about being different. It's not always about having at like a bajillion flowers everywhere. I mean, a lot of our events, we work with a lot of clients who love flowers, and there's nothing wrong with that. But luxury isn't entirely just about throwing flowers on everything. A lot of our more high-end clients tell us like, I don't want flowers on everything, or I don't want a draped room, right? Like one of our international clients, the first thing she said to us is, I don't want to be in a basement in a draped room. Like, I want the experience to start from outside. Like, and I don't want any draping. I would just want a beautiful room. I want accents. I want other things, right? So luxury is not necessarily just a bunch of flowers and pipe and drape. Luxury is actually more about the details and more about the small details and more about the little touches that you filter in throughout the event. Another thing that makes an event luxurious is that it's personalized, right? You can feel when someone's just trying to keep up with the Joneses through their event, right? And luxury is for people who are it's not about showing off. It's just about, this is just what I like. I just like the finer things, so I'm going to enjoy the finer things that I like, not so much that I'm forcing myself to try to keep up with some trend, right? Like every single time I see a new trend on Pinterest or Instagram, I want to do that. It's not about being trendy. It's more about being true to who you are and what you want, and creating a personalized, beautiful experience for your guests to enjoy, right? Like there's an energy behind that, and that is truly luxurious. And the third thing that is luxurious 100% is order and having a smooth day. There's nothing luxurious, I'm gonna be just put it out there flat and honest. There's nothing luxurious about spending $20,000 on flowers and then not having a coordinator, right? And then yelling at everybody to get everybody down the aisle and trying to figure out what's going on. There's nothing luxurious about that. Like, right? Like, it's not, and that's where I was going when I said it's not only about flowers. Luxury is also about the experience, about having a smooth day. People saying, man, like everything just flowed from beginning to end. It was easy, and we just moved along. Part of that sometimes is, again, going back to a little bit of simplicity. You don't need to do everything under the sun, right? You don't need to have like a limo. If you don't need a limo, like there's certain things you don't need to do every single thing under the sun that exists, that everybody else in the world has ever done at their event. It's really about personalizing it to you and allowing the day to flow smoothly, and to be yours, right? So I would definitely say, definitely having at least a coordinator takes you more to high end, and of course having a planner makes it more luxurious because you're allowing someone else to show you how the day can go smoothly, and of course of course deferring and actually listening to the advice that comes from the professional as well. So those are a few things, a few touches that can help you with understanding what a luxury wedding is. Again, the traditional definition of a luxury wedding is about the spend, is about what you're spending on your event. There are, of course, some very big variables about your guest count, which kind of get factored into that. But anywhere between 96 to 500K becomes a luxury wedding, right? And of course, if you're on the lower scale of that, a lower guest count, higher scale of that, a higher guest count. But that's generally what we're looking at there. And again, you don't have to throw out the word luxury to get those high end clients. There are many ways to continue to up level your business without throwing out the word luxury. So this was just a little educational piece just for everybody to understand what a luxury wedding means. If you've ever seen that term, now you understand. And I also broke down other areas of the market, right? Average, high end, luxury, ultra luxury, and then of course anything above average would be like more budget range. So those are some things to keep in mind so you know where you fall. I'm excited. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. We love questions in the comments. We may use it to make a future video. Again, resources on how to connect with us are in the comments, and make sure you subscribe. All right, subscribe. We have so much more content coming your way, and I want to make sure you see it. All right, so make sure you subscribe, like this video, tell the algorithm that you enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.